She sexy, she cool. Said she from Atlanta, but she lived by my school. That's not even the words. I wanted to go live from the heavyweight channel for real, but this will have to do live for the original OG Speakeasy YouTube channel. Shout out to everybody who's been subscribed since the beginning. Shout out to everybody that's subscribed just in general. I'm only laughing because I'm thinking about like when I started this channel, the Detroit Lions were divorcing themselves from Matt Patricia. And now they're headed to the NFC Conference Championship. What a time. What a time. But tell me, and I don't know who's live or not, but who's rewatching this. I mean, comment either way, but like, tell me you didn't expect this. Tell me you didn't have this, that like in your gut, pause, in your heart, you didn't know this when you fell in love with Dan Campbell. And whether that's the first press conference or not, like people got to keep it a buck. I don't know if everybody fell in love with Dan Campbell directly after the first press conference, but I know there's a moment in time, whether it be him crying after the loss against, I think it was the Vikings at that time, or whenever it was, that like you held faith in Dan Campbell. Don't be ashamed if it didn't happen until Hard Knocks the following year. But I feel like majority of us have yet to speak with somebody who, I mean, keep it real if you haven't. I'm cool with that too. But like, I've yet to meet somebody who hasn't had that feeling at some point. And I don't know, man. Like, it is truly something out of a fairy tale. Shout out to Dr. Paparoni. Didn't know you still had your show. I still do. I actually was going to go live from the Heavyweights channel. I only have manager access there. So the old channel I have to do. I actually download this video and I will upload it to the Heavyweight channel at some point. But shout out to everybody who's actually like subscribed to this channel. Like, God bless you guys. Like, what a journey we have had from my basement onto like the studio stage of Wilbur Sports. And wherever else you may have called me, I really, truly appreciate you guys. I truly appreciate being a part of your journey with Detroit Lions. I know I did a lot of MMA content, but Detroit Lions has been something I've been like obviously passionate about since I was a little kid. I'm sure a lot of people watching this or who have watched me in the past, the same thing. And it's truly been a journey, man. It's truly been an experience. Like, the first playoff win of my life happened just last week. And we cashed in another one today. And who doubted today? Who doubted today? I don't know if it was like, I mean, you could have like thought it was going to be a closer score. You could have thought of like, I didn't think we'd actually lose today. Excuse me. Maybe through PTSD you told yourself it's a possibility. But everyone knew these things were coming. Unless somebody outright said they were going to lose. And they stood on business about it. Can't nobody tell you you're wrong about this team right now. Because we knew, bro. That's why we rock with Dan Campbell. That's why we rock with Dan Campbell up until what? I think it was like 10-1 before he finally caught that first W. Like we knew. We rode through that entire thing. And we kept believing along the way. And messages may have grown tired throughout that season. They may have not grown tired throughout that season. But we knew deep down, bro. Because it's real. That's the whole point of this. It's real. It's insanely real. It's too real. But that's what Dan Campbell is. He's the realest. And that's not no, like, modern way of saying he's cool or anything. He is literally the realest. I've spoken to people who've been in locker rooms as a professional. I've spoken with people who've been in locker rooms with him as a college player. Everything they've had to speak about him was to, like, the leadership and testimony that he is as, like, a leader and somebody you could buy into. Because, like, across the board, no matter, like, what background you come from, Dan Campbell was able to connect. And if you're able to do that, you're truly something special. I think Frank Ragnow and Jared Goff said it best in the post-game show today. And I've always said that too, by the way, but he is the best leader in the NFL. Hands down, no doubt, no questions about it. And it's a beautiful marriage between he and a guy like Ben Johnson, where you can marriage both the belief and leadership along with the play calling. And dare I say it, I know a lot of people won't agree. I know it's easier to just point the finger at certain somebody and just blame everything on him, but like without just like I guess taking football in as what it is as a sport, but AG too. This is something special, man. It's almost like too special. Where like I don't know when the ride's gonna end. It's grown too surreal. Going into next week, and me as a guy who's like, people call me a hater because I've been realistic about situations, right? You can say what you want. I've always kept it real. Always kept it real. Even going down to like, people wanted me to say that my man was an MVP. People wanted to say that my man was elite. I just wouldn't do it. I tell you the Detroit Lions are going to win because I believe in the process. I believe in the coaching staff. Guess what's happening? The Detroit Lions are winning. That's possible. That's how things work, right? Like we've seen this over and over again. By the way, if you are liking, and if you're dipping out, whatever you are doing, please make sure you hit that like button. But I don't even know where I was going with that original point, man. I kind of was addressing like a little bit of the haters, like, you were wrong. What was I wrong about? I predicted a 12-5 record. I predicted Detroit Lions going to the NFC Conference Championship as long as they get to, ride this thing through at home. We've seen those things come through. Dr. Paparoni says, I had my doubts, but I stayed the course. Absolutely, bro. Hey, we've been on courses with Matt Patricia. Everyone stayed the course, no matter where they were at any point. But nonetheless, man, I guess a point I was trying to make at one point is like I just don't know how. I don't know, man. Like, am I gonna allow myself to believe in the magic? Because, like, again, that's the point I was getting to. I feel like I am analytical, right? I'll keep things as real as I can. I'll process them without like throwing MVPs and saying people are top 5. I really do feel like, as that analytical guy, as you'd like to, I mean, if you view me that way, the Detroit Lions can cash in a W against the San Francisco 49ers. I really do believe. I mean, and again, I don't know if like I'm falling for it, the magic, but I'm excusing myself for even falling for the magic because like it's something worth believing in, something worth buying into. Like Dan Campbell is that great of a leader. He's that great of a leader. I hiccup there. I don't know if you heard that. But I think he could will this team to a I think he can will this team into a Super Bowl berth, quite possibly. And to be honest with you, like I know this is day one, a fresh reaction off the W. But I don't think this opinion will change. I think analytically you could point to reasons why we're up against it, right? But I don't think analytically you could point to the type of motivation and type of belief that Dan Campbell instills in his players. Because I gotta be real with you, man. Like, this isn't the most talented roster we've seen as Detroit Lions fans. If we're keeping it a buck, we've had Matthew Stafford, who I think logically you would say is a better quarterback than Jared Goff. It is what it is. And if you feel impartial about that, okay, how about I move it to like a discussion you can't like disagree with, right? We've had Calvin Johnson, who was a better receiver than Amon-Ra St. Brown. That is a black and white, like that just is what it is, right? But what we never had was the leadership, the belief of a guy like Dan Campbell driving the ship. And that's why I truly believe this ride can continue on. Who am I to doubt it now? And it's not just Dan Campbell, too. Like, you guys really got to recognize what Ben Johnson is as an offense coordinator and the reason why he's getting head coaching interviews. And if you want to, I mean, here first, probably second time. I think I said on heavyweights already. But, like, I do believe that he will become the head coach of the Commanders only because I think they have a brain trust as brilliant as him, a building. I don't know if AG is going to leave or get a real opportunity because of, like, what the Rooney Rule is in the NFL. But I do believe that he is a worthy candidate. Right, you can use that Rooney Rule and cash it in with anybody. But when you use that Rooney Rule, you cash it in with guys that are still prospects, head coaching prospects. To put it in further context, obviously he's voted number 1 by the NFLPA as like the number 1 coordinator to become a head coach or a guy that you would want to play for. But hold me to this throughout the week. If you watch the heavyweights, I will buy into the magic of Dan Campbell. I will buy into the spell, the motivation, whatever word you'd like to use that Dan Campbell's a part of. Think about every single time you've heard someone who had an interaction with this man speak about him. They've had a lot of the same things to say, that he is everything that we've seen him to be. It's wild, man. Truly is wild. If I weren't refraining from it, bro, I would allow myself to cry in this moment talking about this. Because it's just like my entire life, bro. I've never seen even a playoff win. My entire life, I have never even seen a division title. And again, look back at the talent we've had. Ndamukong Suh, Calvin Johnson, Matthew Stafford. Guys that I have personal relationship. Glover Quinn, Cliff Averill. Guys that we've seen leave here and then, catch that magic elsewhere. Like a guy that's playing in the NFL right now, still to this day, who didn't do shit for us. Kyle Van Noy, who was starting and balling with the Baltimore Ravens right now. We never had a Dan Campbell. And he may bring this city. He's already brought this city. He brought me in my lifetime what I've never had. He just may bring you guys what we've never had either. It's trippy to think about. And Brad Holmes is a piece of that too. As much as you would look at them as lesser than pieces we've had in the past, he still brought these guys in, like an Amon St. Brown. He brought in the guys that he knew. How about this? And I'm actually, you might hear this a second time tomorrow because this just popped into my head, right? In high school, I had a senior all-night party. I was fortunate to go to school to where we had that opportunity. We had to pay for it, but it was still a thing, right? And as our entertainment, they brought on a hypnotist. And the hypnotist, to flex, he did just that. But before he flexed, he did a little thought exercise. And he had us all put our arms out. And he had mentioned stuff. And he was kind of looking for people who kept their arms up versus kept their arms down versus what he was saying. And in the crowd, he chose, I think six of us students, to come up on stage and be hypnotized in front of the rest of the graduating class. I'll shamelessly admit I was one of those people. I don't know if it's shamelessly or not. I don't think I should be shameful of that. But he knew the type of prospect he was looking for. He was looking for someone who was going to buy into the words that he was going to hypnotize us with. He wasn't looking for the doubters. He wasn't looking for the overthinkers, the over-analytical people. He was looking for the people that was buying what he had to say so he could do what he had to do. And that's exactly where you draw Brad Holmes to the equation as a piece of the puzzle, piece of the recipe, because Brad Holmes helped select those people from the crowd in the draft process, select those people from the crowd in the free agency process that were capable of buying into the magic that Dan Campbell had. And hey, together they did it. And the craziest part about it, bro, and this is where certain somebody needs their flowers for damn sure. And I don't think that anybody's not giving them at this point, but Sheila Fordham. Dare I throw in Chris Spielman and Mike Disner in there too. But for those guys to marry Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell together in that relationship, because Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes never had a prior relationship previous to this one with the Detroit Lions. It's all too good to be true. It's like somebody wrote this in a book. It's crazy, man. It really is. Dr. Paparoni says, why not? Sports. Magical seasons happen. That's why we love sports. That's a fact. What a phenomenal comment. I agree with that. I agree with that 1,000%. Tenfold. Holy shit, man. Either way, the boys are doing it. And as the guy who, I've been wrong about things, obviously. I've been more wrong about direct games than I have been about, long-term situations. I don't know if anybody remembers. I told you Dre Bly was coming. I don't know if anybody remembers I told you Dave Montgomery was coming. Something big might be coming for the Detroit Lions, man. I don't feel like I just, in my stomach, I don't feel like the season's over. I don't know, because I'm riding off the vibe, feeling good. I this whole time too, by the way. I mean, I've picked the Detroit. I mean, obviously everyone's gonna pick the Detroit Lions. I feel like, for the most part, if you're a fan, right? But I've never even had anything in the gut to tell me like to pick against my team. This will be the first time they're on the road. I mean, there is that. But listen to Dan Campbell. I don't think he even believes what the fuck's going on. Listen to his post-game presser, not post-game presser, but the post-game speech from today. He's even kind of like just tripping balls a little bit. I'm tripping balls a little bit. But I'm home now. Go Lions, baby. I'm pausing during my conversation because I am getting goosebumps thinking about what's happening with our Lions right now. It is truly it's amazing. Fucking beyond belief. It's everything a lot of us dreamt for so long. For me, my entire life. My entire life, bro. I could get emotional about it right now, for real. My entire fucking life. Crazy. Appreciate you guys, though. I just want to get something out. I just had to talk to somebody. I had to vent. But if anybody else has any comments, I'll read them. I'll probably wrap this up, grab my laptop, try to post something like this tomorrow morning on the Heavyweights channel, just because I want to get something out. This is too wild not to. But shout out the Detroit Lions, man. Whatever happens, whatever comes of this was, as Dr. Paparoni said, an epic journey. And I appreciate you guys for allowing me to be a part of it. Might go cry. It is crazy. But I appreciate you guys. I'm going to wrap this up. I just pulled into the driveway. I'm going to try to download this from my phone and put it on the Heavyweights and all that good stuff. I might sleep. Just make sure you hit the like button. I love you guys. Miss you guys. Whatever comes with this video, I will be live tomorrow from 5 to 7 on the Woodward Heavyweights. So make sure you tap in. Peace out.